Welcome to the Week 6 Stats Show. It is the last Stats Show of Season 3. It was a short season, but it was a fun one. I'm back to do possibly one more Stats Show. Then I think Andy's going to be the voice of the Stats Show from now on. He did it for the past 2 weeks, and he's done a great job. Um, it's a little late. Sorry, I know Andy uploads on time, and I've sort of been slacking, but um, we're here. But yeah, I mean, this week was pretty good for a final week, if I do say so. Overall, I think there were a lot of great games. PreLeague had some pretty awesome games. There was one 4v4, which ended out happening I think right before an update. Maybe not. I'm not actually sure about that. But it was a really interesting game. And it was a really surprising outcome too. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Here we are. We are starting with Tide League, of course. This was quite an interesting week for all of these divisions. Some surprising outcomes, some surprising final rankings, but overall, it was actually a pretty solid um, season. So I think we'll start off with the Poach division actually. A2M had a loss this week. That was against NL, but they still managed to get number one. God is actually supposed to be Sus, so God and Sus switched places. The reason being is because we didn't think it was fair for a team like Sus, who's been playing in the season, like the entire 6 weeks, and God only came 2 weeks ago. So we thought it was a little bit more fair if we had Sus play in place of God. Um, but God will get to come next season no matter what happens. So um, it was all about logistics and I guess competitive shell politics. But A2M finishes top. Sus, I believe, got a win. I'm not actually certain of that. But they are going to be headed to the playoffs, both playing each other uh, tomorrow, actually. Rise and TL both had losses, and they are both eliminated. Moving on to the Scramble division, NL tops the division at 5-1. No doubt about it that they were winning. They're going to be playing BBUC tomorrow in an interesting game. I am very excited to see that game get played. I'm honestly shivering like on who's gonna win. Like I just do not know. So that's how good of a game I think it's gonna be. DX and Nub. DX is replaced with Raid, um, but we haven't gotten the time to actually like change it. So sorry about that. Um, but it's okay. Nub and DX both were eliminated, but still finished with pretty decent records. Moving on to the Fry division, EXL top division. Yet another time, second season in a row. They are 6-0. They are the number one team in the entire league. And they are actually the favorites to win the entire league. So we'll see what happens. Last time, BLZ was able to take them out early, so they are going to be playing each other once again. BLZ, EXL, huge rivalry here in this league. So we'll see what happens. God and Pony were both eliminated. Um, Moving on to the final division in Tide League, Boyle division. GNR topped the division at 4-2. They lost against, I believe it was. I'm actually not sure who. EXL. Oh yeah, it was. It was actually EXL. And they moved to 4-2, but they are still number one. They're gonna be playing EXP tomorrow. EXP got one final win. Actually, they lost against BLZ. But they are fighting hard. It was a tough game, but they are still going to the playoffs to play GNR tomorrow. WQRE and Ace's final game was played a few days ago. Um, they are going to be disbanding. This was talks with the league. The league was possibly, I believe, thinking about disbanding them, But then the team leader just came up and said, "Yeah, man, we gotta disband." So Ace, after 2 seasons, they are going to be disbanding. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So that's all for Tide. We're going to move to Tide PreLeague now. FCN clinched a playoff spot weeks ago. So they knew they were going to the playoffs. They are going to be playing Slayer as well. They also knew that they are going to go to the playoffs. Um, FCN is playing EXE this week. Actually, today. Technically, if this is uploaded on Thursday, you're going to be seeing the game today. So it's going to be a very interesting game. I'm really excited to see it happen. But FCN and Slayer topping the division, they are going to be headed to the playoffs and playing each other. BLNK, DMD, they both had tough seasons, but they both had a win. DMD had a great win this past week against Haz, so they were very happy about that. Moving on to Division A, CSC, they played a good game. I believe they were playing against Slayer or BLNK. I actually can't remember. But they managed to get a win, and they are at 4-2, and they actually might be going to the playoffs if EXE wins and EG4L wins and CSC loses. That's a three-way tie. EXE would be the holders at the top, but it's looking like it's gonna be one of these two going to the playoffs, no doubt. EG4L, they gotta win today. If they don't win, they're out. So we will certainly see what happens, but they are looking for a win sooner or later, and I think it will come for them. But some news about Tide Season 4. We are going to be moving 4 teams up, so all the teams that make it to the playoffs are going to be ending up moving, along with one other team. So we'll call that like the wild card team. So yeah, there is going to be a lot of movement. There's going to be a lot of new teams. So yeah, we will see what Season 4 is like, but it should be a good season. Has finally, they had a tough loss and they got knocked out, but they are looking to win next season. They are going to be staying in Tide PreLeague, along with TMT, BLNK, and possibly EG4L, or EXE or CSC, but it's still to be determined. But they've played great. It's just, the teams are just better. But they are looking to win it next season. So we'll certainly be rooting for them. So yeah, that's really it for the stats show this week. Hope you guys had a good week so far. I don't know what else to say. Um, we're vibing. Season 4 news. It's to be determined on when we're gonna start it, but you guys should expect it to start sometime in mid-October or late October. There's gonna be a lot of thinking involved. Since we know most of our players are gonna be starting back up at school in person. Um, if you're not in person, that's great for us. That means you're gonna be active, but some people are gonna be focusing on school. I'm not here to say don't focus on school and only play Shell Shockers, but if you do have some free time and you've finished all your homework, all the work that you need to do, chores and stuff, happily just hop on, play a game, but yeah, that's really what we're thinking is going to be the case. Same with Shell League. That's also what we're thinking over there. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Tide PreLeague Season 2. Tide League Europe and Tide League OCE are starting. That's crazy. So we will certainly see what happens, but it's gonna be good. So yeah, that's all I have from me. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys sometime in the near future. Join Tide if you want to hear my voice again. We'll hop in a VC. But thanks guys. That's all I have.